Good evening and welcome to the King's Table. This is Dr. Kathy James, fondly known as Mama James. Joining me tonight is Coach Kimberly Young, along with Coach Crystal Cyprian and Coach Yvette Bugs. We are here tonight to interesting information that everyone should be interested in, and that is living your best life now. You've probably wondered, can I really live my best life now? Yes, you can. We are made up to be spiritually, mentally, and emotionally fit. Our bodies need to be healthy and strong. So tonight we're going to have a conversation with our own Coach D, who is amazing, and Coach Shelly. She is phenomenal. They can take your body along with your commitment, determination, and create a beautiful masterpiece. Yes, you can live your best life now. Come on, let's get to the table and have that conversation. Yes, this is Dr. Kathy James. We're excited that you are at the King's Table with us tonight. We have a wonderful platform for you tonight. And of course, I'm going to talk about Esther. Again, when living your best life, Esther got to live her best life, but not without challenges. She had a lot of hurdles to jump. But what we're finding today, so many of us are not as healthy as we could be. And God wants us to be healthy. I want to share this scripture with you before the other panel members join me tonight. And it's found in the book of Psalms 139 and the 14th verse. It says, I will praise you, for I am fearfully and wonderfully made. Marvelous are your works, and that my soul knows very well. And with that in mind, that means that we need to be healthy. We need to be fit and we need to be whole so that we can enjoy this amazing creation that God has put together with his own hands. So I'm going to invite the panel in. I'm going to ask the other coaches if they would join me at this time. Hi, Yvette. Hi, Crystal and Kimmy.
Hi.
How was your weekend, Crystal?
My weekend was very busy, but productive. I went to San Diego and was able to see my little one. I was able to hold and kiss her little face. Even though they're adults, they'll always be our baby.
Always our babies. Always our babies. Kimmy,
Yes.
how was your weekend?
My weekend was great. It was relaxing. I was thinking about when Crystal said that, my little one, I was like, which little one is she talking about? So yeah, I got a chance to really spend time with my kids this weekend and work on some business content that was really close, near, and dear to my heart.
Yeah, that's great. How about you, Yvette?
My weekend was amazing. I was able to spend some time in my new grandbaby to be in her nursery, and get to hang up some of the cute little dresses and see all the cute little things that are going to be a part of her nursery. And I was able to spend some time with my dad this Sunday, and I always enjoy spending time with him. That is my day with him. So it was all together good. And of course, spending time with my husband is just marvelous.
I love it. My weekend was great too. And you all know that I rested this weekend. Thank goodness. The kids left on Friday. Saturday and Sunday was just for me. And I woke up this morning and they were back again. But I'm enjoying this process. I'm really excited about what's happening around the schooling. Last week's show was really good. I got a lot of phone calls after the show from people just saying how much they really enjoyed the conversation and how helpful it was. But I want to share this one thought with you all from last week. And that was, I found out that I was enough. I am enough. I just bathed myself in that all week. I am enough. So we're going to invite our guest in tonight, two wonderful people who I have literally, one of them, I have watched her just transform her life. I can remember when she started running, she and I went out on a run one day just to go on a park, and she just, okay, Jay, show me how to do this. And we went out, she took off running. I have not seen her since. She has not stopped running and building her world. We want to introduce to you Shelly Dado in just a few moments. We're going to have her come back and introduce herself. And then Coach D, who I've had the pleasure of working out with, he's trained, and when he trains you, he trains well. I appreciate all that you invest into each and every one of your students. So let's start with you, Coach Shelly. Introduce yourself. Tell us a little bit about yourself and what it is that you do.
Hi, everyone. My name is Coach Shelly Dado. I am the owner of Dado Motive workout. I've been a personal trainer for approximately 5 years. And I just really enjoy helping people transform their life with educating in eating, proper nutrition, and regular exercise. I just find it to be a passion, as well as a ministry, to be able to educate and to help people, to live their best life.
That's great. Thank you, Shelly. And Coach D, why don't you introduce yourself?
Fitness. A lot of you guys know me as the Dark Knight. My main goal is to get each individual that I train to become the better person that they never could reach on their own. So many times people give up in life. Well, when they meet me, I change their whole life around and make them the better person. So my main thing is for people to reach goals that they never thought they could, or they give up, or some kind of obstacle in their life. That's my job. And I think God gave me that gift just to make each individual that I encounter better.
Unmuted here? Yes. Coach D, I know that that's true. I've worked out with you, and I've seen people that you've worked with, and it's unbelievable, the transformation in their bodies, not only their bodies, but in their mindset. So we so appreciate you. And we have several questions that we want to kind of throw out at both of you. So Crystal's going to take the lead and lead us out on what direction we're going to go so we can get all this stuff. And we have a great audience tonight, and they're already sending in questions and comments. So you all get ready.
Yes, I am so excited to have both you awesome coaches. I have been on the recipient end of Coach D, and he definitely pushes you to the edge. And I have watched Shelly not only transform her own body, her husband, and all of her clients. I look at their pictures. You all are doing awesome work. And so I'm just grateful to just glean into you all's knowledge. But as we kick this off, I want to talk about something. We talk about transforming the body. Let's look at that ideal body weight chart. You go into your doctor's office, you're looking down, and it's like, okay, I'm a 5'8". I'm moving myself over to where I weighed on the scale, and I'm like, what? You want me to be how much? How many pounds? I don't know if that's really ideal. So I'm going to start off this conversation with, let's go to you, Shelly. What do you think about this ideal height and body weight proportion? Is there really a cookie cutter for everybody? If you're 5'8", then you need to be somewhere around 145 pounds. Is that realistic?
No, it's not realistic. Everybody's body weight and size is different. I believe that chart came out years ago, and that may have been for that time, but that chart is unrealistic in my opinion. To be 5'8", and can you put that chart up again? And how many pounds did you say the individual needs to weigh?
Well, if I'm going to be in the green, right, and they're supposed to be good to go, they're saying I'm looking at somewhere around 145, 150 pounds before I'm obese.
You will be upset. You will be mad every day. You will be hangry. You know what I'm saying? And that is not a realistic chart for everybody. Everybody's body type and their makeup is different. You know, you have people that are big boned. Some are people that are petite. You know, you have those that are in between. I don't even look at that chart when I assess a client and I begin to work with a client because it's unrealistic. And it just depends on how you want to build your body up as well, too. Now, you can be 145 pounds with no muscle, but all you're going to be is just straight up skinny. So is that what an individual wants to be? No. And there's no need to starve yourself as well.
Thank you. Coach D, what are your thoughts about this chart?
I agree with Coach Shelly to a certain extent, but everybody's, like you said, everybody's body is different. But if you're training to be an athlete or some you know, depending on what you're in, what you're involved, whether you're in the military, whether your job says you have to have a certain height requirement. Like if you're a bodybuilder and you were going to do a physique competition, you do have to fit a certain criteria. Now, if you're just walking around like somebody like Beyonce or, you know, somebody who's got that height and stature, no, you may not fit into that criteria of 145 pounds because they're, like they said, they're hippie and they're built different. But far as health wise, 145 for a female at 5'8", I know some at that size, and they're pretty good. They're in good shape, but it just varies on the individual. It's hard for me to pinpoint each individual, and like I said, that's based upon a one-on-one workout. If you're coming to me and I looked at you, I would tell you where I'm going to get you to. I'm not going to tell you you're going to be 145. I don't train people to tell me what chart you're looking at, because the only charts I look at is BMI and body fat charts. I don't look at weight and size charts.
That's a good point. So what I gleaned from you all both on this is there's a certain point to where, yes, we have to have a guide. We have to have some type of measuring tool, but there's still a sense of individualism that has to come along with this. And depending upon what your actual goal is, if you're an athlete or if you're just somebody who's middle-aged, 3 kids later, 145 is not what we tried to do. Be healthy is what we're trying to do. So at that point in time, you all can tailor what that workout needs to be and what their food regimen looks like. Thank you.
So we have a question for someone in the audience, and she says a doctor told her that there was no such thing as a big-boned person. Is that true? Coach, why don't you give us a response, and then Shelley.
Oh, that too. Now, I know in the urban area we will call it big boned, and that's because somebody seem like they're hippie, they're thick, whatever the case may be. I have been told by the doctors there's no such thing as big boned, because when you're talking about big bone, what are you talking about as big? What bone are you talking about as big? Or is their whole body, is the whole skeleton big, or what? You have different types of skeleton body structures, there's a bunch of body structures, and big bone I think is more of a slang term, and there's probably a better terminology, but I think we use big bone terminology so everybody don't get mad as somebody saying, hey, you're just thick or you're just extra big. I think big bone is just a softer term. People can take it for what it's worth, but I think I've been told by many doctors there's no such thing as big bone.
So I guess you're not just thick.
It's body fat, you know what I mean? And I agree with Coach D. The structures are different for each individual's. However, it's, what the body looks like, and to be honest and realistic, it is how much fat is really on the body. That's just the bottom line, because that's where a lot of the obesity comes from. It's not only the weight, but it's the fat that's on the body.
Mm-hmm. That's a good answer. Thank you very much. We have another question from an audience that says, what can you do about the bloat? I'm not quite sure what they mean. So to either one of you, can you address that for a person who says that they're just bloated all the time?
I would have them definitely take a look at their nutrition from the aspect there may be some gluten intolerant issues or some wheat issues. Start looking at what they're eating, how much they're eating, and making sure that their gut is healthy, because they might want to start taking some probiotics for the gut to help to reduce the bloating.
Can I ask a question or make a comment about the body charts? When it comes to us as adults, we know that chart has been around for years. But can we address how that affects our young people, our teenagers? I know my son right now, well, he's 21 now. He's a basketball player, but he started off as a football player. And he started off playing football at when he was in the second or third grade. And right now he's 6'6". So he's always been a big kid, but no body fat. But he could never play his weight. When he played football, he was always that kid that was 5 years old but had to play with the eight-year-olds. And so the doctors said he had no body fat. I mean, the coaches would run him around before the game, half naked with garbage bags on him so he can make the weight to play certain positions on football. So that really affects the psyche of our teenagers and our young kids. Can anyone speak to how we can help our young kids not really look at these charts and feel okay about themselves? Coach D?
So I coach a group of young flag football players, and they go by age group. When kids are that young, you got to remember that the main thing is they have a lot of baby fat still on their body. Okay, a lot of these kids aren't active, and maybe your son was one of those ones that was active. Okay, so he was an active child, but at the same time, I don't think nobody ever went to him and did a body fat test. Nobody, because to tell somebody that you have no body fat is almost impossible, because everybody has body fat, and for especially kids have more body fat than the average grown up. If you look at it these days, the average kid has more body fat than the average adult, because normally kids don't start lifting weights until they're like what, middle school maybe. So they're carrying around nothing but carbs. Protein is the minute to them. So when you start saying a kid has no body fat, it's hard for me to believe that.
The chart. I know for insurance purposes, that chart was designed when insurance companies give you a life insurance policy. This is the original foundation of it. They would determine what risk you were to the insurer. And if you did not fit within this criteria, it gave them the authority or the power to charge you more money because you were at greater risk of dying or having a disease sooner than the average age. So you all are right. Using that chart to determine whether or not we are healthy is a very bad idea, and we should not let people impose that on us. I appreciate what both of our coaches have said, and that is they have a conversation with you. What is it that you want? What's going to be most healthiest for you? And this is what we can do to design it. And that means getting rid of some of that fat that's on your body, not looking at a number on a chart. So that's really good. And that walks me right into my question as well. And that is, tonight I wore my Wonder Woman shirt and I got my cake back here somewhere to prove it, because I start out strong. I can do really good starting out strong. I can fly through the air and save the whole world. But somewhere along the lines, I fall off the wagon. So my question to you all is, tell me, what is the difference between a diet and a healthy lifestyle? And let's start with you, Shelley.
I'll deal with the healthy lifestyle. It's something that I practice and that I do every day. It's a lifestyle. Every day I get up and I make the decision and the choice to go ahead and eat and train the way that I want to. The difference is with a diet, diets come and go. Diets are fads. Diets will get you to a point, help you to reach maybe a specific goal that you have in mind. But realistically, there are some diets that you're not going to be able to sustain every day for the rest of your life. So for me, lifestyle is choices with my nutrition, my exercising, and my sleeping and my rest. That plays into my lifestyle. Does that make sense?
It does. Thank you very much, Coach. How about for you? You want to tackle either one of those two?
Yes. I tell people all the time, there's no such thing as a diet. So when somebody says diet, I always refer to them like, what is a diet? There's only certain things. Diet Coke, Diet Pepsi, whatever the case may be. I see that as a diet. Everything else is a calorie reduction. Okay. You don't have to sit there and say, oh, I'm going on a diet tomorrow. For what purpose are you going on that diet? What is it? What makes you think you're going on a diet? What are you changing in your life? Like Coach Shelley said, no, you're going on a lifestyle change. And you got to remember, your lifestyle change has to be, like I tell all my clients, it has to be a marathon. It has to be something that you can sustain for over a period of your life. You can't do something and like when I train people, I tell them all the time, I don't train you for seasons or reasons. Okay. I'm not training you because you want to be looking good for the summer. I'm not training you because you're going to somewhere in December. I'm not training you for the New Year's. I'm not training you to fit into a dress. When I train you to be healthy. So therefore, healthy means eating healthy, taking care of yourself for the long haul. Because if not, somebody's going to take care of you.
Sharing that. Very, very powerful. Kimmy, you have a couple of questions you wanted to ask at this time. We're getting a lot of good feedback from our audience. And Coach D, you got a lot of people chiming in. They want you to know that they are here supporting you, and Shelley as well. So thank you again. Kimmy, why don't you take us further?
All right, great. So yeah, Coach D, I'm usually the one to work the IT, and I'm doing all the banners, and I'm bringing everybody in, and I'm seeing all these comments that we've never had. We are like flooded with people who are following you right now. So you're making it kind of difficult for me, for both of you to keep up. So I'm trying to do my best. But the question that I have for you as we're talking about health and fitness is, Coach D, I've worked with you a couple of times, and it's been a privilege. And Shelley, I have worked out with you, and you have cheered me on along the way as well. But Coach D, one of the things that you introduced me to, and it has changed my life tremendously, is intermittent fasting. And again, it's a way of a lifestyle. It is not a diet. And I stick to it, the 11 to 7 schedule. I love it. And doing some 24-hour fasting in there. But there are so many different diets and things going on right now. So I want to know, what do you recommend as a lifestyle, and then why do you recommend that? What does that look like for you? Coach D, I'm going to start off with you, and then Shelley, we're going to come over to you.
Intermittent fasting is good. I'm gonna tell you right now, it's out of all, whether lifestyle you live in, whatever change you want to make, intermittent fasting is good, but you have to still throw wrinkles in there, because intermittent fasting will make you plateau, is just like anything else will. Keto is no good. Low carb, no good. Plant-based, I haven't tried it, so I can't be biased on that. I can't say anything bad about it. But intermittent fasting, one thing I do know, it works from the inside out. So when you do the inside of your body, when you make the inside of your body feel good, I'm gonna tell you right now, that's the best feeling. That means you get up in the morning, you feel good. You don't feel like the young lady was talking about feeling bloated. You don't feel bloated, because you're on a steady regimen of like, okay, whether you do a 16-hour fast, whether you do a 14-hour fast, I would start with a 12-hour fast, if just to be beginners, because you don't know the jitters and whatever you're gonna have. But if you start with a 12-hour, just, you do it according to how you work. You have to do it according to how you work, because if you're one of those people like Kimmy, who's like IT, she might have to have something either early, or she might have to say, I'm gonna break my fast about midday, because guess what? I can't think no more, or I'm locking keys in the car, or I'm doing stuff that I shouldn't be doing. But the one thing she's gonna do, her body is gonna melt inches. And I tell people all the time, losing inches is better than losing weight, because when you lose weight, you cannot tell where your weight is going to come from. If I take an inch of circumference around my waist and I go get in those pants, I'm like, oh man, I lost that. I could lose 10 pounds and it could come from my feet, my neck, and places that I don't want. And that's the problem when people say, oh, I want to lose my belly. I tell them all the time, I say, I cannot do that because that's the last place that it's going to come off of. Okay? When people start looking at like, I want to lose it, you guys got to remember, when you get subcutaneous fat and that visceral fat, the subcutaneous fat is the jiggly fat, and we all know that's what's on your arms, that's what's on your thighs, that's what people see when you come walking up to them. The visceral fat is where all it's really supposed to protect your organs, but that's where all your diseases lie, from heart disease to type 2 diabetes to liver, intestines, all that. The visceral fat is the main one that can harm you. And subcutaneous fat is the one that people worry about when that's what you shouldn't be worried about. Okay? You should be worried about the visceral fat, the stuff that you can't see underlining. And I always tell people, if you were to go on intermittent fasting, you're going to see your insides, your body shriveling down from the inside, working out. And that will show you that intermittent fasting is the best diet other than all those other diets. And I'll pass it on to Coach Shelley and let her add on to what I'm saying.
I did it for, I think, approximately 4 months because I wanted to try it. And I had a lot of mental clarity because I'm a morning person, and the body did shrink. You know, the gut aspect, the visceral fat around the midsection did. And I felt better, you know, when I did the intermittent fasting. I really don't believe in low carb diets. I do believe in plant-based diet. I did plant-based for about 6 months, felt really good. But to be honest with you, one day I woke up and wanted some fried chicken, and I had to have some chicken. But I do know, and that's just being real, but I know plant-based diets are very good for people that are diabetics, because sometimes, you know, eating that animal fat or that animal food, you know, it's kind of difficult for diabetics. And the doctors have, and the people in the health field definitely have recommended plant-based nutrition for those that have diabetes. And every now and then it's good to have a meatless day. That's just my opinion. Sorry. I hear you.
All right. So thank you. Thank you for that, Shelley. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to go ahead and pass this off to Yvette for the next question. And it goes right into that when we talk about some health issues, right? Because what affects us, it's going to affect the next person in our household. But how about when the next person in our household is really affecting us? Yvette, go ahead.
So, you know, when we talk about Queen Esther, we know that what happened before she was entered into the kingdom. Vashti was the queen, and she was called on by her husband. And we all don't really know why Vashti didn't show up to the feast or when her husband beckoned her. But we hate to think that she was trying to sabotage or cause harm to her husband, but we don't know for sure. But so when we talk about couples, my husband is, he's really into his health. He knows his limits. He knows what he should and should not be eating. He's very good with keeping up with his exercise, for his, health issues that he has. He knows when there's enough is enough, or what's too sweet or whatever. And sometimes, here I am, and I'm an emotional eater. I am premenopausal. I'm just being honest, Coach D. I'm premenopausal. I am an emotional eater. I know this, and I really found this out during COVID. And my mom passed last year. And I mean, it comforts me. It just does. And I'm just being honest. And probably a lot of people feel this way. So sometimes I'm not thinking, and, I'll bring in got banana pudding, and I'll say, "Here, honey, I brought you some banana pudding," or let's have some French fries with that fried chicken or something. And he likes the air fryer, and I'm like, "Oh no, let's just cook it on, let's fry it on the stove." And so I forget sometimes that he has these rules or these habits that he's already broke, and he has to live by those. And I forget sometimes. And so my question is, how do we as couples help each other, or not sabotage each other in our efforts to live healthier lifestyles? Say that again, Coach Shelley. Say that again, Coach Shelley. So I can't hear Coach Shelley.
Let's just be honest. We know what our spouse's limitations are. We all know that. Sometimes we want to bring them in to when we want to eat bad and eat off the rail, if you will. My husband is a diabetic, and I do know he enjoys snacking. However, we have dialogue all the time about, okay, if you're going to have this, this is what you're going to eat for the rest of the week. You know what I mean? It's just important. Does sabotage happen? Absolutely. It's just the way of life right now, especially with COVID. But somebody has to say, you know what? If I'm going to bring in something, there's an alternative. Yes. So you wanted to have some fries. What you could do is make those fries a healthy version rather than throwing them in some grease and, serving them up with a lot of salt. There, you could use your air fryer. Maybe you can do red potatoes and use cooked wedge potatoes and roast them in the oven or roast them in your air fryer. I do believe there's always an alternate way that you can make bad food nice and healthy. So you have to have the mindset to say, you know what? You want your husband to be around for a long time, then you need to help him out and not set him up for failure, and vice versa.
Coach D?
I'm going to give y'all that. No, we're not doing that. Now, I'm going to tell you right now, COVID didn't bother me or the people I train, because you know what? I'm not going to let that be a reason. I made sure we were safe. Everything was done safely, but I told them, we're going to train regardless. We're going to train. Crystal knows. I'm going to train you regardless, because if I let you go 2 to 3 weeks, not even months, 2 to 3 weeks, you cannot keep the same regimen that I had for you before COVID. I just know people, and I'm one of these people. I cheat every weekend. I'm gonna tell you right now. I ain't gonna sit here in front and lie on this screen. I will have a cheat meal every weekend. I may even have a couple of shots, couple of drinks. I'm gonna tell you that right now. Okay, so I'm not gonna sit here and lie to y'all and say, oh, I'm drinking water. Yeah, I got my water right now. That's because of the workout. But Saturday come, I'm gonna have me a couple of shots. But I'm gonna have a cheat meal. I'm not gonna have a whole cheat day. See, that's where people take it too far. People will start off with their breakfast with waffles, eggs, bacon, whatever, the whole grits, the whole nine. Then they'll wait, and then they'll come through at lunch and then go through and have hamburger, French fries, cake, and the whole nine. My thing is this. You cannot eat a cheat. You cannot have a cheat day unless you are 100% not a diabetic, not pre-diabetic, no heart disease, no high blood pressure, no high cholesterol, none of that. If you come train with me, I guarantee you, if I find out that you have any of those things and I find out that you've been cheating the meal, I punish my whole class behind one person cheating on these meals. I punish everybody. My thing is, I've trained Kathy James, she's one of my favorite. I love when she comes. Crystal, she's a regular. The thing of it is, I got on Crystal so bad. Y'all just don't even want to know. I don't even want to tell you the story. Because Crystal, she already know. I had Crystal all the way down to where she was looking so pretty, just getting ready to get ready for her big day. Oh no. Big day was over. Here she come a month later, stumbling back into my place. And I'm looking like, is this a new person? I mean, you changed your whole life behind a wedding. So that tells me you changed for a reason. Or either that or your husband changed you. There's no way my better half is going to make me do something that I don't want to do. You either follow the plan or you go do what you're going to do. When the doctor gives you that bad health, hey, come here and say, sorry, man, we got this. Guess what? That's what you're going to have to live with. I'm not going to live with that. Okay? You guys have to be real with whoever you're encountering. Don't just sit there and knowing Crystal's coming to me and working out, her better half sitting at home eating chips, watching the game. Somewhere in the line, you have to say on the weekend, say, hey, everything stops here. We have to come to agreements. We have to either both work together or something's going to have to work. Because if not, I'm going to tell you right now, what's going to happen down the road, 10 years down the road, I'm going to tell you right now. Gain a pound a month for 10 years, 120 pounds, right? Gain a pound a month, that's 12 pounds a year. Just do it for 3 years. Okay, you gain 36 pounds. Say you come in here, you 200 pounds. 3 years now, you're 236 pounds. You go get that health check. The doctor going to tell you straight up, you're going to have some health problems. And then guess what's going to happen? Guess what? Guess who you're going to blame? You're going to say, well, you're the one who cooked me the food. If she didn't cook me the food, if she didn't do this, she didn't do that. That's why you both got to be on the same page. You got to be on the same page because one's going to blame the other, whether it be the cook or whether it be the person who eat it. But I tell you what I'm not going to do. Start eating bad and knowing I'm eating good and you want to eat bad. I tell you what, if I got to, you know what that nursing home is, right? If I got to wipe you, I told these guys I was going to be authentic, so everybody bear with me. If I got to sit here and take care of you like a baby, that means clean you up. That means feed you. That means hand you a walker. So we're regressing. We're going back to baby stages now. And we could have been going forward and living this marathon. We could have been living this marathon together. But no, you want to regress? We're going to have some problems. We're going to have some problems.
And, and both of those things are just so true. And Coach D, he gonna call it out like it is. That's true. I have lost the weight. I have put back on weight and then trying to lose weight that you already lost. And so that's what I've done. And I can say, oh, my partner, because he's a chef and he makes all of these wonderful foods that's delectable. But at the same time, he's not putting it in my mouth, right? And I have to be accountable to my mindset, or I'm going to go and Coach D is going to he gonna get you in that workout. He just like y'all see, he didn't call me out right here on this podcast. He gonna do just that. But I know that he does it because he wants you to be better. He wants you to do better. And so that's going to take us into this next, because we're all in this current state right now. So with quarantine and staying in place, some of us went in like little Debbie, and now some of us are looking like Big Deborah, right? What does that mean? Well, how do we take our lives back? Because, we were home, working at home, and I know I was guilty of it. I went from my wedding and then went to our honeymoon. And of course, I was in St. Lucia and I was like, I got to try all of these foods because I'll never be here again, and try this. And then you get back and you just can't find your way back. And so my question to the coaches is, how do we do that? How do we find our way back to getting back on track in the midst of where we are right now? So I'll start with you, Shelly, because yours will probably be a little bit softer than Coach D. He gonna come with guns blazing. So how do we do that, Shelly?
So first of all, you got to stop making excuses, and you have to be realistic about where you are. You have to ask yourself, do you really want to lose weight? Do you really want to get help? Do you really want to become healthy? And if that's the case, then you need to take the steps to do that. Stop making the excuses. You got to stop saying that it's COVID-19, it's quarantine, it's this or it's that. You need to make a plan and stick to your plan about how you're going to achieve your health and fitness goals that you have set for yourself. If it's the nutrition, then you try to figure out, hire a coach, hire a nutritionist to try to educate you as far as what the things that you should eat, what goals that you're trying to achieve. This all plays into the effect, because the bottom line is you got to stop making excuses. Get up, make a plan, start working out, start running, whatever it is that you enjoy doing for your exercises, start doing that. I tell people all the time, and even I share with my clients, make an appointment with yourself and keep that appointment. You keep appointments for everything else. Even prior to COVID, you kept appointments for your nails, your hair, your whatever, your massages. Make appointments with yourself and keep them. You know what I mean? And stop making the excuses, because that's just the bottom line. People are where they are because they don't want to do anything different, and they're comfortable with where they are. You know what I'm saying? Well, it's COVID now. COVID has been here since March, and here we are getting ready to go into October. We're still blaming it on COVID. COVID is here. So now you just have to maneuver through COVID, just like you would do anything else.
All right, so Shelly's like, no more excuses. All right, Coach D, I'm sitting down. Go ahead. Let me have it. How do I reclaim my life?
Oh, shoot. How many times you going to try to reclaim your life? You're going to try to reclaim your life about 15 times. We can't be going back and forth. You talking about living your best life? I ain't going back and forth with you. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? You know that song. I ain't going back and forth with you. Living your best life, you are not living your best life. The only time people live their best life, and I'm going to tell you, and I'm going to keep it 100, I'm going to keep it authentic as I can. If you sit there, I'm going to tell you right now, how do people put all this money into cars and clothes and everything that's materialistic? But then when it comes to their body, their self, their temple, the one that God gave them, to say, hey, that is your temple, is your main thing that he gave you. What's a temple? A temple is the highest part you can get to. The thing of it is if you damage that temple more than you damage your car that you just went and bought, you'd be mad if someone put a scratch on your car. But you ain't mad that you shoving Little Debbie's and ice cream and Snickers down your mouth. But soon as somebody touch your car, you ready to fight. But you ain't ready to fight when you starting to put that bad stuff in your mouth. So why are you changing your lifestyle of, like, I look at it like I said, God put me here for a reason, like I tell you guys. He put me here to help people. And that may be my only purpose on this earth, is to get people to stay fit and take care of themselves. That may be my sole purpose. And if it is, I'm glad. Okay? But at the same time, what I don't like is when people, you find them put more energy in negative areas than into themselves. Like I tell people, you got to love yourself before you can love anybody else.
Come on, Coach.
You got to love yourself before you can love anybody else, okay? You cannot sit there and go tell another man, another whoever that you love them if you don't love yourself, okay? You have to love yourself. And when you love yourself, you'll start taking time out, taking care of yourself. Because it's easy to go spend money on extra clothing material. The bigger the clothes, the more money you're going to spend. Okay. Not saying you have to be a any bitsy, teeny bikini, whatever you want to be. But the thing of it is it's the health part of it. The part that we go pay these doctors for medicine. We're paying all these guys, like, you go in there just to get a bottle of medicine that's killing your liver or your kidneys, whatever you're doing, but you're trying to stop from being a diabetic. Then they say, okay, now we got to put you on insulin. So now you're going to pay for that. But you don't mind paying for that as long as you can go get that big old burger from the Cheesecake Factory. You don't mind. It's like fighting two negatives. Why do that when you can eliminate all that by saying, I love me. I love me. Why can't we just say, I love me? People don't love. You can't love yourself if you're damaging yourself. You cannot love yourself. I was training a lady the other day. She came up here in this Mercedes-Benz. Nice Mercedes-Benz, 2020. I said, ooh, that's a nice car. But then I told her, I said, now the maintenance on that car is going to cost you more than me. Maintenance in your body. I said, so if you have to go get a tune-up on that car, that's about $500, $600. She said, yeah. She said, that might just be for the plugs. I said, but if I was training you, it wouldn't be that basically almost in a whole year or 2 years coming around, because I don't train for wealth. I train for health. Your health will get you wealth. Long as you're healthy, you can make money. When your health is gone, your money is gone. And that's the problem with people right now. They love money more than they love their health. You guys got to remember that. You got to reclaim your health. You got to reclaim your health. If you don't, go back and look at why people who were eating off the ground, real veggies, the stuff that's not sprayed, and all the bad veggies now. Look at the people who were back, like my great grandma and all them. They lived to 80s and 90s because they ate real fresh things. You know what? We won't go down to the farmer's market and buy nothing. You know why? We rather go up to Walmart and go up there and get the little cakes and all that other stuff. Hey, myself is reclaim your life, man. Reclaim your life.
Wow. So I just really want to say this because you've totally I think silenced us in a moment of reflection, and this is so important, and I'm very grateful for that. And this is the first time we actually had a guest take over the show and start preaching. I was praying for something else, but you don't come out the gate. So we thank you for that. And what I really want to say is you've told us nothing but the truth, and it's the heart of the matter. But now, can you take us? And I agree with both of you. But now, can we turn this around and tell us what can we do to motivate ourselves to really take to heart what you're saying? Because when we opened up, I started with the scripture about how wonderful this temple is that God has created. So with everything that both of you shared with us over the last few moments, and thank you from the bottom of our hearts, what can we do to motivate ourselves to really understand that we are killing ourselves? What can we do? Shelly, we're going to let you take the softer side. And Coach, you can come back in just a few moments and beat us up.
For me, it's not about motivation. It's about discipline. Because we all can lose motivation, but discipline is doing the things that you don't want to do, but you know that you need to do them. So nix the motivation and go with the discipline. What helped me out is when, for those of you that don't know, I have one child, and I was having a conversation with my husband. This was years ago. And I said, she was not brought into this world to take care of us because we didn't take care of ourselves.
That's real.
It's not her responsibility in the greatest years of her life is to take care of her ailing parents because her parents refused to eat right, exercise, and take care of themselves like that they were supposed to. So that, when I looked at that and looked at her and said that is not her lot in life, that is not her responsibility, I was able to think it's all about being disciplined and not motivated. Motivation comes and goes, but discipline is that lifestyle, doing the things that you don't want to do every single day. I get up every morning. By the grace of God, I'm able to get out and go run 6 miles a day at the crack of dawn before the sunrise. That's what I love to do, and God has blessed me to do that. I come in from my run. I have my nutrition. I have my meals already planned for what we're going to eat for the week. So everything is prepared in advance. You know what I'm saying? So that there is no excuses. And so I'm 59. I want to live to be 109 if I can. So I'm going to do everything that I possibly can to keep this temple as healthy as possible. And it's through discipline and not motivation.
Great. Thanks for saying that. And I know that discipline is so important. And when we look at Esther in the Bible, that's another area that we have to really make sure that we capture. She was disciplined in order to make the decision, because when she got ready to go before the king, she said, if I die, I die, but I've got to save the people. And I'm the only way to save the people. So that's what you all are doing for us tonight. You all are providing us some great truths and some principles that we really need to take heart and bathe ourselves in those for a while. So I know personally, for me, it's all about discipline. I went on a plant-based lifestyle a year ago, and it's been amazing for me. Had a couple slip-ups, but not many. But it's really revolutionized my life in feeling better. And I'm like you, Shelly. I don't want my kids to take care of me. I want to live and be healthy and whole like God wants me to be. Discipline is the key. So, Coach D, why don't you share some tips with us around what we can do to get a hold of this thing?
First of all, so yeah, I agree with Coach Shelley. You have to be disciplined, okay? And the one thing is, I know I'm talking to a lot of people who are like singles, don't have another personnel in their life, whatever the case may be. You have to be self-motivated, okay? Motivation does play a part, but you have to be self-motivated. So self-motivated is like, if I was here by myself, I got chips up in there, I got fruit in there. The thing of it is do I look at that chips and say, ooh, chips would be nice right now? Or do I tell myself fruit is a better choice? If you don't have that mind frame when you wake up in the morning, like, I'm going to live my best life, and I'm living not just for me, even if you're a single parent, you say, I'm living for my child so I can be for her graduation, I can be there for her wedding day, I can be there for, her great grandkids, whatever the case may be. You have to have a game plan. So my game plan would be this. So say I'm just going to go with a person who's single and single parent. You have to find you a friend. And it doesn't have to be a male. It could be a female. It could be somebody online. You have to say, hey, when we get up in the morning, if prayer is your thing, you get up in the morning, you pray. You get up in the morning, you say, hey, let's start. Even if she's in Philadelphia, you're here. You say, hey, let's start off with our 200 jumping jacks, whatever. Let's start our day off with that. Let's go in here. I'm going to go eat me an egg omelet. You eat your egg omelet. And it's just accountability. Accountability will take you a long way. Once you get accountability, I guarantee you everything else will fall in place. It's all about accountability, because I know plenty of people. I talk to my clients every time they come here. I always ask them, I say, hey, what'd you eat today? Or how you doing? Or send me pictures of what you ate. See, a lot of them will send me pictures, and a lot of them be like, ooh, I didn't send Coach picture, because they kind of scared, like, I wonder if it's right or if it's wrong. I don't care if it's wrong. I'm holding you accountability. If you send it to me, I say, hey, you shouldn't have ate that. At least I'm holding you accountable for your mistake. So accountability is the main thing you got to do. Then step number 2, after you get to that point, you have to go out and you do have to find somebody like me or Coach Shelley that's in your best interest. You have to find somebody who is there for the people, not somebody who's there for the money. Because anybody can say, hey, I'll train you, and tell you they're going to charge you $100 per set. well, you'll go broke trying to pay a person that you don't see results from. So that's your second step, finding somebody who has your best interest. Your third step is being able to sustain this over a long period of time. I ain't talking about 1 month. I ain't talking about 2 months. I'm talking about having your calendar up on your wall, and marking it and saying, boom, I day 1, I did 50 push-ups. Day 2, I did 51 push-ups. If you just added one every day for the whole year, man, that's a blessing in itself. You did more than what you did last year, this year. People just, I don't know if it's peer pressure. I don't know, in which peer pressure shouldn't get to anybody, but I don't know if it's because, my friend won't hang with me unless I have a latte or whatever the case may be. Your friend won't be your friend when you go up in that hospital and you lay in that bed and you want her to come visit you, and she talking about Steve Harvey's down at the convention center. Your friend going, and my friend got 2 tickets. Do you mind if I go? Well, I'm in the hospital. Well, I'll come after this is over. You have to take care of yourself, you guys. Take care of yourself, because I'm going to tell you right now, ain't nobody else going to take care of you. So accountability, discipline, motivation, and sustaining is the main things you have to do to get where you need to get.
Right. That's good, Coach D. And Shelley, I want to talk a little bit about feeling ashamed. So many of us who have gotten ourselves in bad life situations with overeating and not exercising. And Shelley, you said something earlier that we didn't really hit on, I don't think, enough, and that is not getting the proper rest. So let's talk about that a little bit too. But then I also want to talk about, how do we get beyond shaming ourselves, making jokes about our bodies because we haven't done the right thing, and I'll just do it later and be fat for a little while. I don't ever want to be fat at all because I know it's not healthy for me. But how do we get beyond that, shaming ourselves? Shelley.
It goes back to what Coach D had said initially about loving yourself. I do believe that if you love yourself, you're going to stop shaming yourself. It's when you wake up in the morning and you look at yourself, first of all, you have to accept what you see and just live in the moment. Okay, this is where I am today. I do believe that when people are shaming themselves, they're really hurting on the inside.
Mm-hmm.
And I do believe that there are some areas in their lives that they haven't dealt with, some issues. It's a form of making excuses. You know what I mean? When you start becoming healthy, you're going to peel back a whole bunch of layers of yourself. And there are areas in your life that you're going to have to deal with during this process. I remember having one client, sometimes when you go in with your client and you're really pushing them, they're going to have a mental break. And some of the sessions are going to, you're going to have to, some of your clients are going to be crying, because they're dealing with so many emotional issues as you begin to peel off the layers while you're working out and you're training and living this new lifestyle. This one individual decided to get their purse and started walking out the garage, and I snatched the garage or the purse, and I said, "Hey, your session isn't over. You can walk out to the end of the sidewalk, have your 5 minutes, and deal with whatever emotional issues that you're dealing with. And then we're going to come back in and we're going to start, we're going to continue with your training session." So, a lot of times you have to deal with the issues that are in the heart. Right. And shaming yourself, you're dealing with some unresolved issues.
Right. And
loving yourself.
Shelley, and that's so true. Thank you for sharing that, because again, here I go back with Esther. We know Esther had to take a bath for a year, and she had to really deal with all the issues. Before you can go before the king, they had to wash her and make sure that she was clean and that she didn't stink, that she smelled perfect to stand in the presence of the king. And that's what you all are telling us tonight. We've got to take care. I love when Coach said it's the visceral fat that we're not worried about that's killing us.
Right.
And it's those issues on the inside that we keep eating and eating and eating, and we're not addressing those issues. We're so worried about what that size dress looks like on the outside and what's jiggling around somewhere else, instead of saying my lungs and my kidneys and my heart are laying in 20 pounds of fat and they're dying. I'm killing them. So Coach, you want to share with us some thoughts that you have around that?
My thing is, I don't know why people feel ashamed about their size and their weight, because we can all change it. My thing is, you ate yourself to that size, so why you shamed? You ate yourself that way. Because we know all born, we did not come out the size of a garbage can. We know that. If we eat ourselves to that point and we have fun while we were doing it, everybody's done it in their life. But everybody's body is different. So some people is going to hold on to this. Like, it's some nights of kicking it. Everybody's out there kicking it. I could go over there and eat 2 or 3 hamburgers. You eat 2 or 3 hamburgers, you may not lose it. I eat 2 or 3 hamburgers, it might not even affect me. Not saying that I can't get type 2 diabetes, because I could be 130 pounds with type 2 diabetes. So don't go about the size. But what I'm trying to say is, you're going to walk around big. So everywhere we go, have you ever noticed when you see a small person, they always want to hang around a big person, because the simple fact is they don't want to be the joke. When something goes on, they want to be able to point a finger at the big person. What you laughing for? I know you ain't talking, because they always got something to fall on. The thing of it is, you shouldn't be ashamed if you big. You ate yourself up to that point. Now it's time to say, I need to get my real life back, because your real life was at 18. Your real life was 15, 16, 17, 18. Everybody knew you knew your size then. Now, if you had a parent that fed you to pacify you, to say, oh, here, take this, you'll be okay, or, whatever, just give it to them, they're going to be fine, or whatever, just to baby you, and whatever the case may be, you got this justice done to you. Now, if you were one of those people who was slim, had a kid, thought that man was going to be there, and you sat down and ate pies and drank and just thought he was going to be there, and then when he left, you kept on eating pies and cakes and feeding it to your kid too, and to your kid, and you are the same size, and your kid wearing what you're wearing and wearing your shoes and wearing that, don't feel shame. Feel that you're the blame. Don't feel shame. Say, oh, I'm the blame. Yeah, you blame yourself, because don't blame nobody else, because whatever we do to our bodies, we did it ourselves. Didn't nobody force feed you anything that you ate. Now, if you tell me somebody handcuffed you and put some force on your mouth, I'm going to call police right now. But I know that ain't true. So shaming yourself, don't never feel shame because you're a big person. And like I say, I'll tell people, I like training big people more than I like training little people. Because you know why? I get the joy of breaking your body down. That's my love. Little people, okay, you're easy. Big people, I get to be a mad scientist. I get to tell you what to eat. I get to make you throw up when you don't want to throw up. And I send you through the gamut, because I want you to feel how you should have felt when you were shoveling it down your mouth. And a lot of you guys don't like that, but I'm only being real with you. I got to keep it real. Don't never feel shame about your size. Don't never feel shame about your size. Don't never feel shame. I know you feel shame when you go sit at a restaurant and you think everybody's staring at you. When you go to the airport and you have to use 2 seats, little places where it's cramped up, and so you say, excuse me, and people look at you like, God, you can't get through here, all that extra. Don't feel shame. Take your life back. Like they said, reclaim your life and say, you know what? I got to do something about this, because I don't feel that it was appropriate what I did today. I didn't like how I felt today, but don't feel shame. Okay? Don't feel shame.
Great. Coach. Thank you so much. Kimmy, did you have a question that you were going to ask, or I was going to go right into setting the goals?
No, yeah, you're going to go right into setting goals. So that was one of the final questions for the coaches is that, what does it look like for setting health goals? What is your philosophy around that goal setting? We're going to go ahead and start off. Okay, I got a little frozen here. I'm going to go ahead and start off with Shelly. Go ahead.
What an individual's, I'm sorry, what was your question?
That's okay. My question was about goals. So setting health goals, what is your philosophy around, like what would be practical for me to set a goal? And we always learn about SMART goals, right? Little small steps that I can create into good habits. Can you tell me what those would look like?
For one, the goals that you want to achieve would have to be realistic. I'm sorry, my brain just went someplace else. Your goals will have to be realistic. If it's something that an individual wants to learn about nutrition, set a goal and start learning about eating healthy. Say, for instance, if you want to stay away from, you want to start eating more of the whole foods, start visiting your local farmers markets. Learn to eat foods that are in season. That would be a goal that you can achieve. Get up in the morning if you're a morning person, or decide whether or not, if you're a morning, afternoon, or evening person, when's the best time for you to get your workout in. Because if you're a night owl and you don't like getting up in the morning, there's really no need for you to try to structure your life to get up early in the morning and to work out. Right. So that would be something that you want to look at as far as a goal is concerned. And also, what is it that you're trying to achieve for your health and fitness? Are you trying to be healthy overall? Is for your lifestyle? Learn to cook. Let that be a goal. Stop eating out and learn how to meal prep. Those are easy goals to have as well when you're trying to learn more about eating properly. And so exercising, find out what you like. Everybody may not be a runner. So, find some other activity that you might like to do. There are groups that go out hiking. So if that's your thing, then maybe that could be part of your goal setting, that you're going to plan a hike and go on a hike every month. It just really depends on the individual and what they want to achieve in their life,
Good. Thank you. Thank you for that, Coach Shelley. So Coach D, I have a goal. I want to set a goal, and if I have a huge goal, right, 60 pounds, because I want to get to that BMI, or I want to get to feeling healthy. What am I doing? Am I just focused on just the 60 pounds, or am I focused on that 1 pound at the time? What is that? What does a goal setting for me look like?
And to me, I don't like goals. Okay, so because goals, people who try to set goals, they usually break off at some point. They get frustrated, they quit, they start something over. I don't like goals. I like a person who is going to work day by day, keeping themselves accountable, and just say, like, hey, you say, Coach D, I need you to, write me a meal plan. I need to be accountable. I need to send you my meals every day. And then I need to work out with you this many times a week. That's the start. Setting a goal, you tell me, oh, I'm gonna lose 60 pounds, that's just unrealistic for me to tell you, oh yeah, you're gonna lose 60 pounds. My thing is, let's get started, see where we get, and then I can tell you where I can have you. If you follow me, I'll say, I can tell you where I can get you to. There's people that can come and tell you, I say, man, I'll drop you 20 pounds in this 1 month. And I do it. That's how good and confident I am in myself. If I tell you I'm gonna drop you 20, you're gonna drop you 20. But if you do something different than I tell you what you're doing, then don't blame me, because you weren't true to yourself. So goals are not good. I hate people with goals because when people say, that's just like somebody saying, ooh, next year I'm going to do this. Why are you waiting till, okay, you're going to wait till next year to do what? People always talking about, ooh, I can't wait till next year. Next year I'm going to do this. And people say, ooh, my birthday next year. Ooh, okay, so what you going to do? You know, everybody always talking about next year. What about tomorrow? You know what I'm saying? Why we ain't starting this tomorrow? I mean, you got a certain date that you plan for. Who said you're going to be living at that time? I just want to know who gave you that date that you was going to be still on this earth breathing, and you talking about next month I'm going to start that. Next month? Oh, so tomorrow must be your birthday or a holiday or something big. Because you got to remember, birthdays are just birthdays. You got to let that go. You know, when God put us on the earth, okay, we all came in on that day. That leave out date, it ain't your birthday. It's whenever it comes. So stop postponing and planning like you got a schedule set for yourself. Don't do that. Do not do that. Don't be talking about 2021. Everybody trying to worry about the COVID. I said, man, go day by day. Don't sit there and let the COVID take over your life. You control your life. Don't let the COVID control your life, because COVID probably done been here 10 to 15 years ago and we just didn't know about it. Don't let COVID control your life. But the bad part about it, everybody let COVID control their life. You know why? Because they got those lower health extremities that COVID is taking a grasp of. Now, I don't fear of COVID. You know why? I try to keep a clean bill of health. Now, if you run around with high blood pressure, diabetes, high cholesterol, you know, asthma, you can't help. I'm not going to knock nobody with asthma. I'm not going to knock that. I'm not going to knock nobody with type 1 diabetes. You was born with that. You got that type 2, you brought it on. You got high cholesterol, you got high blood pressure. Hey, what you want me to do? If COVID attacks you, that means you weren't prepared for what you don't know what God got in store. You weren't prepared for it though. I tell you what, you weren't prepared for it, because guess what? Glutton is a deadly sin. And whether you sit there and glut and eat, it's going to affect you one way. You're going to get diabetes, you're going to get COVID, you're going to get whatever the case may be. If you go look at those 7 deadly sins, if you go and each one of those, if you touch each one of those, they got ramifications for all of them. So I always tell people, watch what you do. Because those 7 deadly sins, everybody always worry about the 10 commandments. We follow those, but we live in that every day because we live in sin. But that 7 deadly sins, the ones that he tells you, hey, don't glut, don't be greedy. Gluttony and greed almost fall in the same boat. The only thing is, greed is more towards money, where glutton is more towards food. We have to take back our health and our temple, so therefore we can all be good. Okay? Don't wait till next month come talking about, Coach D, I want to train with you. And you could have been training all along. You know what I'm saying? Don't be coming. I'm gonna take you whenever you come. You know me. I'm gonna take you whenever you come, and I ain't gonna have no mercy on you. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna say you didn't have no mercy when you were sitting down at Red Robin. You didn't have no mercy with, endless fries. You just sit there, lady, sit there, bring your burger, and you just sitting there with it. Can I have some more fries? Well, that first plate wasn't enough. Oh, okay. Well, let me bring you another one. And you gonna sit there till your belly get fat. Oh, you glutton? When you go down there and that cholesterol is high from all that grease that they saturate that stuff down there in, and they just use the old grease over and over, don't get mad when you go get that pill from Rite Aid and they got to tell you, and you talking about it's $35. You tell them, $35, I got to pay $35 every 2 weeks. Okay, but that plate of Red Robin was $20. You wasn't caring because you had endless fries. Them endless fries made you go back to Red Robin. And you figured it was a ritual. Me and my girlfriend going to Red Robin. As long as they got that special on, McDonald's entice you. 2 for $2. Travis Burger. Everybody running Burger King. Oh man, they got the 4 for $4. Okay. You don't know how to make a burger on your own? You don't know how to go in the kitchen and go out there and who was talking about the air fryer earlier? Coach Shelley was talking about the air fryer. Or no, take it back. It wasn't Coach Shelley, it was Yvette. Yeah. The air fryer is a wonderful choice. Don't get mad at your husband because you want to taste some Lori seasoning. Put that on there afterwards. Use the air fryer. He's trying to keep you healthy. He trying to keep you healthy. But no, you want to taste some of that fish grease in the back. You want that little bucket. You want that let me throw a little chicken in there, and you want to be able to turn it like that. Nope, we ain't having no fish fry today. Wait till Thanksgiving to have a fish fry. Okay? I ain't trying to kill.
The audience is going crazy. I tell you, they said they're rolling on the floor. One time I was working out with Coach D, and the conversation came up some kind of way. And he said, Mama James, I know how to act. I know about church stuff. You didn't tell me you could preach, Coach. You straight like preach.
I'm not trying to. Hey, I'm not trying to preach, but I'm just trying to tell people, we all know that gluttony is a sin. Everybody knows that. Come on now. And you see people, when you go in places, you go, first thing you say, no, she don't need all that. We gonna say it. We gonna say it. Now, if you told me, hey, I fasted this morning, and you went down and had a full course meal where you get a salad or d'oeuvres and whatever, all the whole entree, I wouldn't be mad at you, because that calorie, that meal you might have might be only 1,100 calories. I'm not mad at you because you're eating a healthy meal. But if you ate pancakes and waffles, all that, you have to count calories. People got to know. You got to count calories. Once you count your calories and know what you're putting in your body, then you're going to be okay. Like me and my uncle, we used to talk. My uncle used to say, hey, man, how you going to drive a car, when the gas hand is broke and you're going, 100 miles and you don't know how much gas you got in the car? That's the same thing about putting the food in your mouth. If you put bad food in your mouth and you come to Coach D and work out, how long you think you're going to last? How long you going to last? And I'm going to be talking crap. I'm going to talk it because...
Yes, we know that you talking. We've been there, heard that. But we want to say we are so grateful for tonight. I tell you, this could just go on and on, but our time has come. But we need to get your final thoughts for tonight. And again, I think you've just brought us to a place of self-reflection and accountability. And we appreciate both of you so very much. You've done a great job. We're going to show a picture of both of you. Kimmy, can you put that picture? This is Miss Shelley out there running. And I remember, like I said earlier, Shelley, I remember the first time you went running, you were like, oh, no. And like I said, girl, I haven't seen you since. You're now running marathons, half marathons, 6 miles every day. Give us some final thoughts, Shelley, and what you want to leave with our guest tonight.
Having me on your show. It was truly a blessing, and I really appreciate it. Definitely want to leave with your audience is that you can change your life. You can make a difference. You can become healthy. You can become whole. The only thing is that you need to know is that it's going to be hard work. And please know that you are worth it. You are worth it. Love yourself and know that it's never too late to start. I'm 59 and I'm still making it happen every single day. I didn't start on this health and fitness train until I was about 53 years old, I do believe, when I trained for my first Tough Mudder. And I've done 5 Tough Mudders with my husband and my family and my friends. And I'm looking to do a Spartan whenever that's going to open up. So I just want you all to know you're worth it. Come on, let's get it done. Make an appointment with yourself. Keep it. Love yourself. And like Coach D said, I liked what he said about getting you an accountability partner. It may be somebody on the East Coast, somebody on the West Coast, wherever you may be, but get you somebody that's going to be accountable to you and you accountable to them. We only have one life to live, and let's live it to the best of our ability.
Great. Thank you very much, Shelley. We appreciate that. And I know your story, and it's been a wonderful transformation to watch what you've done with yourself, and not only yourself, but to all the ladies who work with you every day. Keep up the good work. And Coach D, I've been one of your trainees, and you've done an amazing job. And when I come, you work me out hard. No mercy. So what are some of your final thoughts that you would like to leave? I tell you, our boxes are running over. We can't, oh my goodness, look at this picture of him. Go ahead, Coach. What you want to leave for us?
My main thing leaving you guys with, I mean, I enjoy everybody who tuned in today. Love the whole panel. Glad that I'm with you guys to help out some people. I hope I inspired some people who are listening. The main thing is, guys, I'm like, my thing is called second to none fitness. Really, if you break it down, I put it down second to no one. So if you guys look at that, it says second to none. I put second to no one. That means no matter whether you're in your job, your way of life, anything you do, you're second to no one. You are second to no one. Remember that. Put yourself first. Once you put yourself first, I'm going to tell you right now that you're going to make great strides in life. You want to live your best life. Live your best life. If you ever need any help, reach out, touch me, touch Coach Shelley, or whoever you need to. I'm here. I'll help you out. It's too easy to be a better person every day. Physically and mental and spiritually, you can be a better person every day by taking accountability of yourself. You can't be accountable for nobody else but yourself, and you should smile every day, wake up happy. I just pray that all you guys that's listening to everything I said, that it changes your life. I hope it changes your life. I hope you become a full blown, not physical fitness buff, but just a better person. Just wake up in the morning and say, you know what, I'm going to do, Coach said do this. I'm going to do something. Find somebody. Just Crystal, for you, I know Chris. Hey, you guys just say, hey, man, every morning, hey, let's just get them to do 50 squats. Let's get them to do 50 jumping jacks. Whatever the case may be, it's a jump start. It's a start, because you got to crawl before you walk. You guys, it's not that hard. It's not that hard. Everybody got 30 minutes in their day. And I always tell people, it ain't how long you work, it's what you put into it. You don't have to work out an hour. You don't have to work out 45 minutes. But if you work hard for 30 minutes, believe me, get your heart pumping and get everything going, that's good. Work like that until you get to the point where you could do 45 minutes. Then you can get to an hour. But, man, I pray that everybody here is back again next time I talk to you, doing something better, coming to me, telling me, hey, Coach D, guess what? You inspired me. I dropped 5 pounds. And I'm not going to look at the pounds. All I'm going to look at is you put in work. I don't care how much weight you drop. You ain't got to drop a pound. You ain't got to lose no weight. I'm looking at is you're being healthy by being physically active. I don't care if you say I walk 10 miles every day. I'm glad for you, okay? Let's be better. Let's just do better. Let's do better.
We so appreciate that you were able to share with us on tonight, and to Coach Shelley as well. And to the coaches, I know our time is up. We're almost at an hour and a half, but our guests have not left. And we say thank you very much for staying with us tonight. This was just a great time that we've had together, learning about ourselves. And what's really important that we want to remember is that God does hold us accountable for this temple that he has given us. And it's an amazing temple. And scientists can't figure out all the intricacies of this body that we have. When God made us, he was intentional about what he wanted us to have and what he wanted us to do. And listening to Coach Shelley tonight and to Coach D, it makes me just resonate within myself. I have failed my own self. And I don't like failure. I'm not one to stand in the line waving the flag, say, oh, I failed. I'm saying, no, I'm going to get up. And I'm going to do better. I'm going to honor what God has given me. And I challenge each one of you that are listening tonight, that if you want to get a hold of Coach Shelley or Coach D, you can reach out to me or Crystal, and we will give you their contact information. And we know for certain that your lives will be changed, and you can become the person that God desired you to become, not only just physically, because it becomes more than a physical challenge, it's spiritual as well. And like Shelley said, when you start dealing with those inner things, you start getting free of so many other things. The weight just begins to disappear. So we want to invite you back. Again, thank you. Listen to what we have coming up for next week. Hey, thanks for joining us tonight at the King's Table. From Mama James, Coach Kimmy, Coach Crystal, and Coach Yvette. We are happy that you spent your evening with us. We want you to know that, yes, you can live your best life now, completely whole the way God designed you. We say thank you to Coach D and to Coach Shelley. And we say to all of you, go ahead, reach out to them. You won't regret it. You know, we're getting ready to finish up the year and we want to finish it strong. Join us next week for some tips, tools, and resources, finishing the race strong in the fourth quarter. Join me every Monday morning at 7 a.m. for Monday Morning Jumpstart. I am currently reviewing my book, Finally No More Excuses. You can grab a copy on Amazon or you can reach out to me and get a copy today. Also, follow me on my podcast, The King's Table, on Apple or Spotify and other platforms. We want to say thank you for spending your time with us. This is brought to you by Esther Nation Ministries. Remember, we are out to save a nation, one woman at a time. God bless.
So again, thank you everyone for joining us tonight. We look forward to seeing you on next week. God bless you until we meet again. And to the panel, to Coach D and Shelley, thank you. To Crystal and Kimmy, if you all stay on for just a moment, I want to have words with you. Getting a lot of feedback from our guests tonight.